welcome back to Bar Body Online. My name's Georgie and we've got a strength class together today. Just grab yourself a pair of dumbbells, about medium weight for you. So I'm going to be working with 2 5 kilos. You can have these ones around 6, 7, 8 kilos depending on where you're at. We won't be doing any kind of long holding movements. You can work a little bit heavier for today, more kind of press extension work. We're going to be working with the circuit, so we'll come into our warm-up first and I'll run you through that circuit as we go. Let's start off standing up at the back of your mat or back of wherever you are. No need for a mat for this one if you don't have one. Just take a moment here, bring your feet down underneath your sit bones, hip width apart. Take a nice big breath in now, roll your shoulders up towards your ears. And then breathing out, just start to tuck your chin in towards your chest. Begin to melt your spine down over your thighs. Taking a moment here at the very bottom, you might take a hold of either elbow or a generous bend in your knees. Maybe a little rock side to side. Just fully allowing the whole back line of your body to really soften over your thighs. Maybe a little nod, a little shake with your head if you like. From here, just release your fingertips down towards the ground. We're going to take a little halfway lift as you breathe in. So draw your chest forward, shoulders glide back, and then exhale, folding your chest all the way back down. Taking about 3 steps out with your hands now, walking your way out into a high plank, pausing here. We're going to hold into that high plank for a moment. Draw your shoulders back away from your ears, pull up from your low belly, and really extend the heels back behind you. So nice, strong high plank here. We're going to hold for a full breath in. And then if you would like, you've got the option to lower your knees down. We're just going to come into 1 push-up. So option for knees up or down. Inhale to bend through your elbows. Exhale to extend. And then take about 3 steps back with your palms all the way back towards your feet. Big breath in here. Reach your arms all the way up towards the sky. We're going to work up to 5 push-ups each round. So fold it forward, exhale, 3 steps out with your palms. Option to lower your knees or keep them lifted. Inhale to bend, exhale, extend. 1 more like that. 3 steps back with your palms all the way back in. Big breath in, reaching your arms high, extending out the sideways. We're up to 3 push-ups here. So taking your time, find your way out. Knees up or down, 3 push-ups with your breath. Wrapping your elbows back, pulling your chest forward. High plank into that forward fold, all the way back. Big breath in, reaching your arms up. Let's bring it up to 4. Really tune into your own breath here. There's no rush, just starting to warm up through your body, starting to heat up through the breath. Really using your exhale here as your power in all of these movements. We should be coming up towards that last round now of our warm-up. We're starting to get nice and warm. You might be using a strong breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. When you do find those push-ups, really gripping down through your fingertips. Let's go for 2. Finding your child's pose now, hips come back, arms go forward. Walk both of your hands over to the left side here, reaching forward with your right fingertips, elongating out that right side of your waist. Over towards the right side now, stretching out that left side waist, left fingertips reach away. Beautiful. Back through center here. We're going to find a little forearm plank now. So forearms come down. Last little bit for our warm-up before we come into our circuit. Forearms down. You can either interlace your fingers or, for a bit more challenge, have your palms flat down with a little L shape with your arms. Press down into your forearms here. Elbows right underneath your shoulders, regardless of your hand position. From here, tuck your toes back behind you, finding your forearm plank. Pressing your shoulders up towards the sky here. Nice and long through your spine. We're going to start off with a little knee tap here. So 1 knee down, exhale plank. Inhale, other knee down, exhale plank. Starting to squeeze in through the low belly here. Really proud through your chest and pushing those shoulders up towards the sky. Little knee tap. If this feels enough, stay here. If you're ready for more, we're going to tap down, double knee, lifting up. Double knee tap. Lifting up, starting to warm up through that front line. Let's go for 5 before we start to bring in some rotation here. Last 3, Exhaling to lift, inhale to lower nice and strong through your shoulders. Last one, hold those knees up. Let's start to turn your toes towards the left, drop your hips towards the right. Exhale through center. Over towards the left, toes turn towards the opposite side. Inhale through center. So just moving through. Little knee lowers from side to side. We're isolating the lower body here, so trying to keep your shoulders nice and still, right above those elbows. And your hips do not need to touch the ground. They can just go towards that direction. And again, that lift up from the sideways here. Let's go for 3. Each side. Last 2. Nice work. 1 more each side here. And bring it all the way down onto your belly. A little chest extension here. Palms come down either side of your rib cage. Press your legs down. Pull up through your low belly as you extend up. Inhale, roll yourself down. 2 more like that. Exhale, lifting up. Pull your belly up away from the ground. And then all the way back down. Last one here. Big breath in. Pull the shoulders back. Press your legs down. Pull up through your low belly. Back into that child's pose one last time. And we'll get into our little circuit here. So we're going to go through 2 different groups of exercises, each for 2 rounds. So 4 rounds in total. Grab your pair of dumbbells here. I'm just going to take you through our whole first cycle. So we're going to get started in a little narrow lunge. So starting off with our right foot first. Right foot's going to come about midway down your mat. We'll have a 15-second break between each exercise for me to show you into that next one. So dumbbells in towards your hands, right foot forward. Take your left foot just slightly back into a little narrow lunge here. So you're not all the way back into that long lunge, just slightly back. From here, our positioning with our pelvis is kind of like you're about to go into a sprint. So start to bend deeply through both knees, pull your sit bones back, belly lifts up and your chest is nice and open. We're grounding down through that front heel and racking your weights onto your shoulders. The movements here are going to be a double pulse and extending your arms up. Palms are going to face forward into that overhead reach. Palms face in, double pulse down into that little runners, getting ready to ready, set, go, and then pressing your way up. So let's get this going here. I'm going to place that timer on, getting into your position. Alrighty, weights coming up into that rack position. Find that little runners, ready, set, go position. Here we go, pushing into your right heel. Let's start with that double pulse. Inhale, down, down. Extend your legs. Palms are going to face up towards the sky. So hips are nice and square here. There's absolutely no rush as we come through these movements. Our focus is on strength here as opposed to cardio or getting out as many reps as possible. So really tune in, take it at your own pace. Make sure here your tailbone's really pulling back. Chest is really drawing forward away from the base of your spine. We want to really watch that right front knee is tracking slightly out towards the right, so over that third toe, not knocking in. When you do find that little pulse with your back leg bent, try and keep your back knee really relaxed, so not holding to that back quad. And we've got that breath work here if you want to take it. It's an inhale into that double pulse and the exhale to overhead reach. Nice. We've actually got 2 minutes per exercise here. So plenty of time to get comfortable in that movement. Get nice and used to that positioning into that shape. Then we'll have that 15-second rest between each exercise where I'll take you through that next one. That being said, if you need to take a break, feel free to do so at any point in time. Hopefully you've got some bangers playing at this point. Starting to get revved up. When you do find that overhead press here, think about your rib cage wrapping in. Core is helping you as you reach those arms overhead. Nice and done, you guys. We're almost there. We're going to move from this exercise, that double pulse reaching overhead. From here, we're going to come down. Keep it going though. I'm just going to run you through as you go. We're going to come down into that 4-point position with your back knee hovering into a little kick back. And we've got some different options if that doesn't work right for you. Let's keep this one going here. You're almost there. Staying nice and strong with that breath rhythm into that double pulse overhead reach. Palms face in, and then palms face forward. Let's go for one more rep here. And done. Nice work, you guys. From here, you're gonna take your weights all the way down. Weights underneath your hands. With your back left knee, it's hovering. From here, you're gonna keep that back left knee hovering if you can. Sweep your right foot up, little donkey kick, with that left knee hovering. Press that right foot forward here. Take your weights in towards that shoulder position. Optional add on with that extension of your front leg. So lowering down, weights come down towards the ground. Keep that left knee hovering as you find that little press towards the sky. We are on the clock now, so come on in as you feel ready. If that's too much here, I've got a modification for you, just lowering that left knee down. Find that donkey kick without the hover of your left knee. And you can even feel free to skip those weights. Just find an overhead reach with your arms if your weights are getting a little bit too heavy. So a few different options here. First option here was with those weights, racking, overhead press, lowering down, keeping your left knee lifted for extra core power there as you lift up that right foot. Left knee stays lifted as you come into that full movement. Or feel free to decrease here with your left knee coming down, staying down as you find that kick. Feel free to remove those weights as you reach your way up. So a little combination movement through that little donkey kick back into that little overhead press with your lunges. Lots of different ways to make this one work for you, whether or not you're using those weights. Really think about your core control here, that entire movement. So core is working as you find that overhead reach, shoulders down, lats back on the body supporting you there. Same as when you have that knee hover. You might feel a little bit of work in the front of your back thigh, but really try and let that stability come from the core, cinching into the waist instead of your back left thigh taking all that slack for you. We've got about one more full rep here. This one's gone fast, there's a little bit to it. Into that overhead reach. Let's try get one more in if you can, with or without that knee hover. Reaching up. And as you feel ready here, we're going to come all the way down into our 4-point position, moving on to our next exercise. So from here, you're going to have either your hands on your weights. If that doesn't feel nice, just take your right weight away, taking your right hand down. We're going to be working through your left arm here into a little single arm row. So knees right underneath your hips, belly's engaged here. Start off with your weight right underneath your left shoulder. Exhale, pull your elbow up. Inhale, tap down. So working through that single arm row here. Already here by having this 4-point position and just finding that little removal of 1 point of stability just for that arm, you're gonna feel a little bit of work start to pick up in your core system. So our aim here is to not sway towards the left side to compensate from that removal of that stability. Instead, lean into that stability, lean more towards the left, and you'll start to feel your left obliques work a little bit harder. If that's too much, no worries. You can find a little kneeling position, hands behind your low back, and just find that row not into that 4-point position. If you're ready to add on here, we're about just over a quarter of the way through. You'll find that row, pause, extend that arm back into a tricep extension, bending in, tapping down. So option there to add that little tricep extension, tapping down. Remembering this can also be done in that little kneeling position, adding on with that tricep extension back, bending in, extending back, bending in and down. So if you're working on relatively heavy weights like me, then this might feel pretty tough. Feel free to take breaks whenever you need. We're working again less how many reps you can do, more your longevity, how much you can keep this one going. So take as much space as you need to keep going for that whole 2-minute time period. Last little add-on, it's already really intense. Last quarter of your clock here, you might extend that right leg, same movement, but with your right leg lifted. So now we've taken away 2 points of stability, both that left arm and your right knee. We're trying to wrap that right hip down, so we're really isolating into the core, not by swaying towards the right side. Almost there, you guys. That clock is on its way down. Let's go one more rep here. You've got it. And then letting that one go. Beautiful. For our last exercise for this little cycle, before we come around to the next side, we're going to just ditch those weights for a moment. Find your hands down, setting up for a high plank position. Same leg for all of these exercises here. I want you to squeeze your heels together, turn your toes apart. From here, we're going to use that inhale to bend your knees back. Find that little crouching shape. As you exhale now, your right knee is going to squeeze towards that outer right elbow. Same knee each time. So exhaling, right knee, outer right elbow. Inhale to squeeze back. So each time we're working through that right knee, pressing your chest forward over your fingertips. So crouching back, bending your knees into a little diamond shape, pulling your chest forward, right knee, outer right elbow. So working through your right oblique here, get that nice crouching feeling as you come back. I've got an option. If you want to pick this one up a little bit and find a little cardio burst, it's just an option. It's not everyone's cup of tea. As you keep coming through this one, if you'd like to take it up a notch, you'll find that same movement, crouching movement into that little knee drive and then into a little bunny hop. So it's that crouch back. Your chest will reach over your fingertips as you lift your toes up towards your glutes. A little bit of air time there. Landing with your knees bent and landing nice and light if you can. So if you're wanting to take that little bit more extra spice, one knee squeeze back into that crouching position, right knee outside of your right elbow, crouching back, and then both feet hover up into your bunny hop position, crouching back. Knee drive, crouch, bunny hop, crouch. Just if you want to find that extra little spurt of cardio. This feels like a long time to be doing this particular one, but we are almost there. After this one, we've got a little reset for a minute. I'll give you some options if you want to keep working, or you've got that minute to take a break, take a drink, whatever you might need. Almost there, you guys. Let's keep this one going. So crouching back, knee drive in, maybe or maybe not adding in that little bunny hop. With that bunny hop, make sure it's coming from the low belly, so really scooping up from the low abdomen, light landing on your way down. So bent through your knees as you find that landing there. And we are done. Maybe just find a little downward facing dog here, bending through either knee, shifting your hips from either side. Little tiny reset here. If you need to, go grab yourself a glass of water before we do the whole thing again on the other side. Otherwise, try and keep moving. You might just find a little side to side, standing up, maybe finding a little run on the spot. Try and keep that energy flowing, keeping that heart rate up, or anything you might need. If you need to have a break, feel free to take it. If you're up with me here, maybe you find a little side squat, a little lift, squat, and tap up. So if you're moving with me, we're going to find some little jump squats here, flushing out through those legs, tapping your toes in, tapping your toes out. Knees drive out towards the outer edges of your feet, chest stays forward. Everything's held here by that core control. So hips are staying stable, shoulders are relaxed. If you're with me in these little jump squats, let's keep this one going for 3, 2, and 1. Nice work, you guys. We're gonna get ready to go into our next round. So facing towards the front, taking your weights in towards your hands, left foot forward, right foot back. Find that little position like you're about to go into a sprint here. Squeeze your left hip in. Start off by racking your weights up. Here we go, double pulse. Inhale, exhale, overhead reach, palms face forward. Weights rack. Inhale, little double pulse. Exhale up. So let's come back to that really schmick positioning with your pelvis here. It's that positioning like you're about to go into a run. So tailbones lifted. Really try and extend your chest forward as you find that little narrow lunge. At any point, if those weights get too much, you've always got that option to just take a single weight into your chest, same movement, but just halving that weight if you need to reduce it to keep on moving. So that is definitely there for you if you would like to. We're starting off nice and strong, you guys. We are over halfway through this side of that first exercise over halfway through of all of these exercises. So you're doing really well. Let's keep strong. Let's stay really tuned into that breath. No rush, keeping it going. All right, you guys, we've got about, how much, 30 seconds left on the clock for this one here. Stay strong with that alignment here. Really pulling your sit bones back here so we're able to work just that left glute. Again, not letting your right quad run the show. So really pull back through your sit bones to get it into the back outer left leg. You got it. We're going to move from this one into that little combination move with that little donkey kick. Let's go 2 more reps like this. Take your time, little pulse, pulse, overhead reach. Last one, inhaling down, exhaling up. Here we go. Let's set up for our next exercise. So hands can be on your weights. Right knee this time is going to hover. Let's hover that right knee underneath your right hip. Donkey kick, press your left foot up, tapping forward with or without your weights, all the way up. Modifications again, if you'd like to take them, you're gonna lower that right knee down instead of keeping it hovering. Same idea with that donkey kick, lifting from your left glute. Stepping forward, you can either keep those weights with you or your arms are free, just finding that stand and straightening through your legs. So 3 different options here. Depending on where you're at. If you're not using those weights, of course, just place your hands down instead of on the weights if that's feeling better for your wrists. Keeping it strong. If you wanted to come into that breath work here, it's that exhale to reach those weights up. Inhale down, back knee hovering or lowered. Exhale, donkey kick up. Inhale forward, exhale up. So if you're wanting to break down this movement with the breath, 4 parts of that movement. Exhale up. Inhale, set up for that donkey kick. Exhale, execute that donkey kick. Inhale, set up for the lunge. Exhale to execute. So good, you guys. This is tough. There's a lot going on here. A lot working in that low core. Yes, you're gonna get a little bit of quad and thigh activation, but there's a ton going on with that left glute, both to stabilize that lunge and to find that little kick back. So you're doing really well. We're almost done here. We're gonna move into that single-sided upper body. So good, you guys. Let's keep this one going. We've only got 30 more seconds here. Keeping it going with your breath rhythm here. Feel free to take a few rounds with that knee down. Maybe a few rounds with your knee lifted. Just to keep moving here, just to go the whole way through that 2-minute clock. Working strong, not fast. And of course, you guys, if that breath pattern isn't working for you with that 4-part breath, you know you can always take a few breaths for each of those movements to really pull it back there. Nice, you guys. Let's go 1 more full rep here. That is it for this one. We won't be coming back to it. We're going to meet with our knees down, hands underneath your shoulders. We're going to be working through your right hand, right arm now. So if you want to remove that left dumbbell, feel free to do so. If you want to come into that high kneel, feel free to do so as well. From here, chest is square, pull up through your low belly into that single arm row, inhale down. So with your alignment here, try not to round through your low spine. We want to stay into a nice neutral position. So that just means your tailbone slightly tilted up, belly's lifted towards the spine, and you're going to get a little bit more core control there. As again, you've got that hinge forward into that high lunge, high kneel if you need a modification for that 4-point position. With the 4-point position, the challenge here is reaching into that instability. So leaning towards the left, not towards the right, so that by removing that stability of your right arm, we're picking up that instability in the core system, not just by transferring the weight over. If you are feeling this, you are loving it, maybe there's a tricep extension there for you, reaching your right arm back, bending in, lowering down. Strong and contained through that rib cage. Rib cage is closed in, belly staying lifted up and active. Smashing this, guys. We are working heavier, so really keep that in mind. No need to go as fast as possible. For this last little push of this exercise, you have the option to reduce that instability or enhance that instability even more with your back left leg staying lifted. So same idea here, neutral spine, belly is on, adding on that left leg, holding up in space. Feel free to just take out that tricep extension and just stay with that narrow row. Try and lean towards the left more than the right. Just a few more reps here. I'm going to come into that little crouching knee drive movement. Let's go. Almost there. Belly's holding everything in place. That back leg is stable and active if it's lifted. Strong breath, maybe out through the mouth, like you're breathing out of a straw here if you're wanting to take that. You've got this, you guys. Really nice job. Let's go one more rep here. You can do it. And then weight comes down. Nice work. Moving your weights off towards the side into a little crouching position. So palms underneath your shoulders, feet step back, heels together, toes apart. Starting off with that inhale. Reach your sit bones back, pull your chest back. Now it's your left knee, outer left elbow, squeezing in. Inhale, reach it back. Exhale, squeeze it in. If your wrists are feeling cooked with this one, if you often get sensitive wrists, a few things I want you to think about first before you lower down onto your forearms. Firstly, make sure that you're gripping through your fingertips here and find that most gentle little micro bend in your elbow. Extra points if your arm muscles can shake a little bit. Just means that your arm muscles are going to help you out. It's not just all that pressure on your wrist joint. So give that a go first. If you absolutely need to, your wrists have just had it, feel free to come down onto those forearms. It's going to be a little bit harder to find that knee drive, a little bit of a shorter movement. So before you find your way down to your forearms, think about gripping through your fingertips, micro bending through your elbows, activating the shoulders, the biceps, forearms before you take it down. So I have that option for you here. We're coming up towards halfway. If you would like to take that extra add-on with that little spark of cardio, little bunny hop, tapping down. Knee drive, driving those hips back, bunny hop, landing down. So that is there if you want to take it. It's not everyone's cup of tea. I, for one, find it very enjoyable, but whatever feels better for you. If you're finding that one, make sure you're landing with those soft knees, soft landing, as light as you can. And we're almost there. I know this one feels like it's taking a long time to get through this last one, but this is the last time we're going to be doing this one, so you're almost there. We're going to be moving on to some other fun movements after this. Little knee drive, little bunny hop. Nicely done. Light through those toes, gripping through your fingertips. And really try and pull your chest more forward than your fingertips as you find that knee drive. So really extending over the top of the fingers if you can to get that little bit more core control working in there. Last rep, that's it. Maybe you find that little bunny hop to finish and done. Nice with you guys. Take a little round of cat and cows here if you like. We've got a little tiny reset here. I'm going to bring it on down to the mat for a bit more obliques and core. Alrighty, so you guys, take your way down. We're going to be using one of your weights now. So if you're working with lighter weights, you might want to take both, or one of your weights will be more than enough. We're going to get started with your left leg long, your right knee bent, right foot is down onto the ground. From here, we're going to take a moment now to reach that weight up towards the sky. I want you to really stack up tall onto your sitting bones. Reach your weight forward now as slow as you can. I really want you to breathe out through your mouth. Begin to slowly, slowly, slowly roll your spine all the way down. At the bottom, take a little bend of your elbows. So tricep press, hand goes back, up, inhaling at the bottom. Push down through your heels to as slow as you can. Start to roll your spine all the way up. That was option number two. If you're ready for, option number one. If you're ready for option number two, same movement, but we're going to be hovering that right knee the entire time. So your option to keep that right knee lifted. You're finding a little knee drive as you roll your way all the way up. So moving through those roll downs, maybe with your right knee lifted, with that little tricep extension when you get to the bottom, and then all the way back up. I just did it just then, but see if you can try not use momentum. Try and keep it really controlled through the core system, reaching your way up, 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 extending up through your spine when you get towards the top there. Last little add-on here, it's super, super intense. If you would like to, when you roll your way up, you've got the option to activate that left leg, keeping that left leg hovering above the ground as you find that whole movement. So option there to add that lift of your left leg pointing out through your toes as you come through these final few rounds. Totally cooked that last one. Almost there, you guys. Let's go for 3 more here. Feeling free if you need that stability to instead push your left heel down onto the mat. So slowing it down with that breath here. We've got to get that extension when you get towards the top. And let's go one more full round all the way up. Beautiful. Taking both of your feet down onto your mat. Weight comes in towards your chest. Find a little side, a little lean back. We're going to hinge here, not in that C curl. So really try and rise out of your sit bones. Weights right to the center of your chest. Open up through your chest here. Elbows are soft. Inhale, center. Exhale, rotate towards the side. Inhale, center. Opposite side. So we're moving from side to side here. Exhale, side. Inhale, center. You have got the option, if you're wanting to pick it up a notch here, to hover your feet above the ground into that little boat pose here. So feel free to take that if you're feeling it. I, for one, am not. Or keep your feet down onto the ground, especially if your hip flexors are getting a little bit grabby, a little bit pinchy in the front of the hip. You don't need to tap your elbow all the way down, but you can as long as you're resisting that rotation through your hips. So hips should be super still here. We're just moving through your upper spine. If your hip flexors are grabbing you here, it's not feeling too nice, you can't focus on that rotation, bring your feet together, knees apart. You'll be in that butterfly shape. And same movement, but we're just reducing that chance of your hip flexors flaring up. Nice work, guys. Of course, if that weight is too much, this is still super challenging, just interlacing your fingers and coming through center without the use of that weight. Super nice job, guys. Almost there. Let's go for 3 more each side. Nice and strong here. Elbows are soft and out towards the sides. Last 2. Let's go 1 more, each direction, weights in towards the sternum bone, hold it over towards the left, hold it here. So I want you to pulse your chest up and down, keeping your hips as still as possible. You're holding into that rotation, pulsing the chest up and down for 3. Twist a little bit further, keep your hips resisting over for 2. Same one over towards the other side. So holding there, excuse them looking away from you. We're holding in that rotation, pulling that belly button in towards your spine. Elbows are wide, shoulders are soft. 4, 4, 4, 3. Last 2 and 1, all the way up. Nice work, you guys. Take a little reset here. This time I'm going to have your right foot down, left knee bends. So right leg long, left foot down. With that left knee bent, really activate through your right leg here. Push both of your heels down into the mat to stabilize you these first few. We're going to reach that weight up over the head, elongate through your spine, reaching your weight forward here as slow as you possibly can. We're just rolling that spine down, pausing at the bottom. Your weight is over your shoulders. From here, bending your elbows, little overhead tricep press whilst you keep your belly in, core engaged. Exhale up, inhale at the bottom. Legs are active here to start off with. Exhale, slowly, slowly roll all the way up. Think about breathing up the mouth, drawing the navel in. That was option number 1. The work here is really, really, really slowing down on that way up and down. If you're ready, you guys, if you're wanting it, we're gonna hover up that left knee the entire time. So right heel pushes down, adding in that little hover of your left knee all the way down with your breath out. Feel free to skip that tricep press if it's not working for you. As you find that tricep press though, there should be a little bit of core activation going on there. So our hips, our tailbone's really pushing down, shoulders are pressing down. When you do find that tricep press, nothing moves except for the arms. And to make that happen, you're gonna be really focusing on that rib cage closing in, core staying nice and tight. That option is there for you if you do want to add on that little hover of your right leg, extending out through your right toes and keeping your right leg lifting the entire time if you would like to take it. That's just going to pick it up quite a lot, but it's definitely there for you if you need it. We are over 3/4 of the way through, and then we've got one final exercise of this little circuit, and then we'll be finishing off with a little finisher. Finishing off with a finisher. Let's go one more rep here with or without that hover of your bottom leg. And when you get there, we're all gonna meet all the way down onto the ground. Lovely job, guys. From here, place that weight down here. We won't be using it again. We're gonna interlace the palms behind your head. Really simple to start off with. Knees lift up to tabletop. As simple as here, tailbones down, bit of space from your mid-spine and the ground. Starting off here with a little ab crunch. Exhale up, inhale down. So we're focusing here firstly on your hips staying relaxed, knees and your glutes staying soft. Just straight up to the middle, straight down. To regress, feet down, no worries. Focusing on those upper abdominals. So option here, feet floating up or down, depending on where you're at. Closing your bottom rib towards the top of your hip. Elbows are wide here. We're gonna start to add on now. So every time you exhale here, if you have your knees hovering, one leg extends. As you find that little halfway crunch, as you inhale, try and crunch back just halfway. So never lowering your head down onto the ground. You're just going up into your top position, back into your halfway. Top, halfway. You should be able to see your belly muscles here. Try and draw them down and wide instead of letting them push up towards the sky. So everything's nice and tight there. If you are ready, we're gonna start to add that rotation. So as you find that leg extension, opposite elbow, opposite knee, inhale halfway lower, and then switching each time, inhale halfway lower. So never going back past that halfway position. If you'd like to pick it up just a little bit more for this final little bit here, you might find an inhale, side, side, exhale at the mouth, side, side. So either staying with that exhale to the side, inhale to the middle, or it's that inhale, side, side, exhale, side, side. If you're down on those feet, you can still add that rotation, and you'll have that ability here to really focus on your hips not twisting with you. So that's the main effort here, is using that core control to keep those hips as still as possible. It's hard to get the hang of. Beautiful job, guys. Let's go for 3 more each round. Either that inhale, side, side, exhale, side, side, or that slower one. We've got 2. Nice work. Let's hold it over towards the left side here. Pause there, reach your right arm long, little tiny pulses there, little lift, little lower for 4, 3, 2, switch it over, left arm long, reaching over towards the right for 4, 3, 2, 1, lower it down. Big stretch out. Let's go one more roll up here, this time both legs long, reach your arms up, full breath in. Exhale, reach your arms up, push down into your heels, slowly, slowly, slowly roll all the way up, round through your spine here, belly button pulls in, reach your arms beyond your fingertips, rounding through your low spine. All the way up, guys. Last little bit of effort for today, then you are on your way, you are done. We are going to come down to a little Pilates burpee to finish off here. So If you're wanting something non-cardio, take it nice and slow and strong with your breath. It might be similar to what you did in your warm-up. If you're ready to pick it up a notch with me, let's go into that high plank here, you guys. Last little bit of effort. Option to lower your knees here. We're gonna go one push-up. Inhale down, exhale up. One foot forward, other foot forward, top of your mat, hopping up, landing down. Same for first foot back, second foot back, one push-up, pressing up. Let's go your other foot forward, hopping up, switching it over to that other foot as you step back. Option to lower your knees if you need, one push-up. This is gonna be our last little bit of work for you guys. You have that option, instead of finding that step forward, to find that jump forward and back. We're only going to be here for 1 minute, so you've only got 30 more seconds. We're done. We're into a little stretch. Last little burst here. Add that little jump at the very top, either stepping or hopping back through that movement. Let's go 3 more rounds of burpees here. Almost there. Finishing off on a high. You've done so well. It's been nice and strong today. Lots of core, lots of glutes. Let's go last one here. As you're ready, all the way up. And let's bring it all the way up towards a stand. Nice work, you guys. Take a nice wide stance here on your mat. Big breath in, reach your arms up. Fold it forward and down over your straight, wide legs. Start to bend through one knee over towards the other. So a little bend side to side here. Bending that knee out towards the side. Stretching out the inner seam of the thighs, through those hip flexors. Through the center now, fingertips just in front of your face. Find your way onto your fingertips. Inhale, big reach of one arm up towards the sky, doesn't matter which one. Pull that same side hip back. Nice, full breath in, really lift up through your fingers. Placing it down, let's take it over towards the left. Inhale, reaching it high. Twisting through that upper spine. And then bring it all the way down. Step your toes in. Find a little kneel or a seat. Just gonna finish off here with 2 big rounds of breath here. Hands just come down. Take an exhale here, just let all the breath go. Inhale, full breath in. Reach the arms up if you like. Hold your breath in at the very top, feeling into that fullness. Lungs are lifting. Out through your mouth. Fully softening out, letting it go. Last one like this. Full breath in. Holding at the very, very top, feeling that lift. Maybe extra sip of air if you can. And out to the mouth. Fully letting it go. You guys are all done for today. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time at Bubble Tea.